Hi, welcome to a Papetti Math YouTube video tutorial in Algebra 1. Today we're going to be looking at exercise number 3 on lesson 7 in chapter 10 of your workbook. And again, if you don't have your workbook, that's awesome that you're here. I'm happy to have you. So let's take a look at exercise number 3 now. Finish off lesson 7 and chapter 10 as a whole. So Rio is a diver on the diving team. The path of his dive could be modeled by the equation y equals negative 4.9x squared plus 3.14x plus 1, where y is the height in meters x seconds after he leaves the diving board. What is the maximum height Rio will reach? Round your answer to the nearest tenth of a meter. So we're looking for the maximum again, and as we've seen, when we see that word maximum, it's another way of saying to find the vertex. And we know a two-step process for finding the vertex. Our first step is going to be to find the axis of symmetry and then substitute that value in to get your y value. Okay, so let's do that. Our axis of symmetry formula is going to be negative b over 2a. That's something that we should know. And we're going to substitute in our b value, which is 3.14. I think that's intentional because that's pi rounded to the nearest hundredth, over 2 times a, which is negative 4.9. So we have a few decimals here. We're going to have x is equal to negative 3.14 over negative 9.8. When we divide negative 3.14 divided by negative 9.8, we're going to get x is going to be equal to 0.3204. That's 4 decimal places. That should be enough to not throw off the nearest tenth of a meter. So now we know our x coordinate of our vertex. We're looking for our y coordinate. So now we want to take that x value and substitute it into our equation. So we're going to have y equals negative 4.9 times 0.3204 squared plus 3.14 times 0.3204 plus 1. And we'll simplify this a piece at a time. So let's square that decimal right there. And we're going to get 0.10. We're going to multiply that by negative 4.9. And we're going to have in our first term simplified 0.503. And then we're going to multiply 3.14 times that decimal. And we'll get plus 1.006 and plus 1. And then we're going to add all these together. And our solution is going to look like 1.5030. And again, it just wanted the nearest tenth of a meter. So the maximum height that Rio will reach is 1.5 meters in the air. All right. Good. Let's look at part B. So part B says, how long will it take Rio to hit the water? Round your answer to the nearest hundredth of a second. So again, this is where we want to take this equation, and just from knowing the equation or the path of his flight through the air into the water, you could find the exact value or the exact time at which Rio hit the water, because the water's level is 0. Okay, so we're going to find out where negative 4.9 x squared plus 3.14x plus 1 is equal to 0. And I believe the easiest way to go about figuring this out would be to use our quadratic formula, which will involve me having to know my a value is negative 4.9, my b value is 3.14, and my c value is 1. So now I know that, I'm going to substitute into my quadratic formula, which is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. That's so messy, and I do apologize. So let's try to make this a little bit neater when I substitute in. So x equals negative 3.14 plus or minus the square root of 3.14 squared minus 4 times A times C, all divided by 2 times A. Lots of decimals here. That's okay. I'm going to simplify inside that square root first, and I'm going to get 3.14 times 3.14 is that. Okay. So I'm going to have negative 3.14 plus or minus the square root of 9.8596. Okay, I have a negative 4 times a negative 4.9 times 1, and I see my double negative here, so this is really going to be plus 19.6. That's all going to be divided eventually if we get to that point. Don't worry, we will, by negative 9.8. Now I can do some more simplifying. I'm going to combine those two terms inside the square root. I'm going to add 19.6 to 9.8596. 19.6 again, plus 9.8596. And I'll get over here, I'm going to have to go up here. I'm running out of space. X is equal to, bring everything over, negative 3.14 plus or minus the square root of 29.4596 divided by negative 9.8. Almost there. So now we want the square root of that 29.4596. And we're going to take the square root. And we're going to get negative 3.14 plus or minus. I'll keep 3 decimal places here. 4, 5.4, 2, 8 rounds up. Divided by negative 9.8. Finally, we're going to do the plus value, and then we're going to do the minus value. So we want to do negative 3.14 plus 5.428 and divide that by negative 9.8. And that will leave us with an answer of negative 0.2334. And again, this is asking for the time it's going to take. So we know it can't be negative. So yes, you guessed it. We are going to reject that answer because we can't have a negative time. So which means our correct answer should be when we subtract. So we're going to do negative 3.14 minus 5.428. And we're going to get negative 8.568. And we're going to divide that by 9.8, negative 9.8. And we are going to get a positive 0.87 seconds. So this is the time it takes for Rio to hit the water. So if you're a diver and you're jumping off that board, you have about a second before sometimes you might hit the water. In that second, you do like a flip or two, maybe a twist in tuck or pike position. But anyway, this was exercise number 3 on lesson 7, which was the last lesson in chapter 10. So at this point, we've finished chapter 10, and we've also finished our study of quadratics. So there's a lot to take in this chapter, a lot that we've done over chapter 7, 8, 9, and 10. But I believe that you were able to do all of it and still are. So with that being said, if this video proved to be helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, continue on to chapter 11. Have a good day.